So, I mean, we made it all of 15 minutes before we're starting to talk about the Trump administration. But one of the impacts has been a dramatic shift in transportation policy and cutting off funds for both EVs and public transportation. Can you talk about how you're navigating this huge shift that's occurred in the last 2 months?
Yeah, I mean, the reality is we've had a lot of federal assistance when it comes to transportation and transportation related initiatives. Most recently with this past administration, obviously the IIJA, the Infrastructure Act, we, we, like so many other states, were able to take advantage of unprecedented federal funds, really, with respect to transportation infrastructure. And a lot of those initiatives had to do with climate, coastal resiliency. And so now, fast forward, here we are in this new administration, and we're sort of getting whiplash, right? Because here we were told that in order to get this funding, you needed to show that there were climate related necessities with respect to these dollars. And certainly we have a big coastline in the state of Connecticut. We're faced with sea level rise, and so there's road damage there. There's bridges that are in need of repair. There's new bridges that are needing to be created, and creative ideas with respect to road raising and what have you. And now, I'm privy, as well as so many others, to internal communications with the US DOT that say, if you see a state has received funding between 2022 and 2025, and there's the word climate in there, if there's the word resiliency in there, flag that funding, because we're going to put a hold on that funding. And so that's a scary time for states. And I will tell you, Connecticut has some unique challenges with respect to transportation. We are a pass-through state, which means our roads are used frequently by our neighbors to the north and south. Because we're a small state, and so we've got Boston to the north, New York to the south, and so we enjoy our visitors, but there's a lot of traffic on our roadways, tearing up our roads, and we do not have any road usage charges. We don't have tolls. We're the only state on the eastern seaboard that doesn't have tolls. And we, like the federal government, who relies on the Highway Trust Fund, we have a special transportation fund for the purposes of paying for our roadways. And this is all in the time when the gas tax, which we rely on both at the federal level and the state level, is diminishing, right? We have more fuel efficient vehicles. We're using electric vehicles more, which is wonderful. But we need to be creative about what our funding mechanisms are. And because the state of Connecticut doesn't have tolls and doesn't necessarily have other ways to fund our transportation infrastructure, it becomes a challenge for us. We're highly reliant on those federal funds. And so when an administration says, oh, just kidding, we're going to yank the rug out from under you, you're not going to be able to take advantage of these funds. After all, it's a very scary time.